Okay, this is a review for the Morningstar Francesca doll, and she is absolutely wonderful. I'm so excited to be doing this body review. I didn't do, a proper box opening because she actually came much quicker than I expected. When I ordered her, I was lucky enough to be able to get in and actually order her because she was really, really limited. But when I ordered her, apparently she was already done, ready to go, and she actually arrived within 1 week. So I was not prepared to wait until I had a chance to do a proper box opening on camera. She's my first ball joint doll. I just wanted to open her and check her out. So what we're going to do is just kind of show you what came in the box, just so you know a little bit more about the company and how they do things. But here she is, out of the box. She's so amazing and great. The eyes that I actually have in here right now, these are not the eyes she came with. The eyes she came with were actually a really nice acrylic. They were pretty color, but they weren't the color I was looking for. So I'm just sort of testing around different eyes inexpensively to sort of see, what fits her shape, what looks good on her, what size pupil I want, things like that. But this is her basically out of the box. This is her little pillow she was on. There she goes, laying in there. So she just came packaged really nicely. She was in these 2 adorable little pillows, which were actually tied up with this nice ribbon, which has a cute little Morningstar pin on it. And of course, she was really nicely in bubble wrapped and everything like that. There were no problems there. She came with the owner's guide, which has some information about restringing, how to take care of things like that. She came with a cute little mini scrubber brush for her. There's actually 2 in there that just cut into a small size. She did come with her certificate of authenticity. And she also came with a shirt and a pair of panties from another company that Morningstar paired with, but they're really nice, they're really well made. All the stitching, everything like that is absolutely beautiful on the inside, so, if you were in that neck of the woods looking for something for her, the person who made these did a great job. I'm actually really excited to do sewing for her, so I don't need that, but for those of you who aren't sewing, there she is. So we're going to set that to the side. Actually, we'll be using it later so she can sit on it. But that is her official home that she lives in until I get a stand for her, because as you saw, she stands really easily, but wouldn't want to leave her just standing like that forever. So thinking about Francesca, she wasn't anything that I wanted in a doll, to be honest. I was looking for my first doll, and I'll just kind of let you look at her and see how pretty she is. I was looking for a doll that had dark skin. I wanted one that was larger. She's only 30 centimeters tall. I wanted, at least 40. She definitely, I loved her unique look. I loved her body. I was like, oh my gosh, she's so great. I didn't think she was going to be a great poser. On the website, you see some pictures of her, but they're all just kind of like, it's her standing, it's her sitting, done. So I really kind of thought, oh, she's just going to be a doll who stands and looks pretty, and okay, that's fine, I'll live with it. She's so limited, she's so cool. I was so pleasantly surprised to find out she is so much more high quality than I expected. The color on the website was called Peach. I didn't know what color that was. I tried to kind of put her on a neutral background so you could really see more of her color. It definitely is a peach. I definitely see both orange and pink in here. I haven't really been able to color comparison much. The only comparison I've done is against a Zoom head that I have for practice face-ups. And their pink color is definitely more orange than she is. So I see both tones in her, and I don't really know which way to go. When I look at the eyes I put in her, I don't think you can see them because of the color they are. They're really kind of a neutral. They're a purpley, more on the warm side, with a hint of coolness. So I would say she's more of a warm skin tone, for sure, but I know it's difficult to tell just on camera. She is a bit more, the resin is on the shiny side, I don't think it's terrible, and I think once, I'm actually going to blush for whole body, so once I get all of the, you know, matte on there, that may help reduce some of that shine, but just so you know, she is kind of smooth, she is kind of shiny. Doesn't bother me, but a little FYI. Let's start at the top here. Her head cap, it's just a nice magnetic, you know, comes off nice and easy. Has her little emblem in there. Nice little S-hook. I took off her head so I could change out her eyes. It was really nice, really smooth and easy, no problems there. She, you know, stands, as I said, it does take a little bit of work to get her to stand, only because she has so much mobility. I mean, she's got so much more mobility in here than I expected. Usually when I see this kind of hip joint on dolls, they don't really do much. But on her, it really moves a lot and gives her a lot of posing ranges. But so I'm not going to bother with making her stand right now. I'm just going to go through the different parts. So her head, this is her looking all the way up. And she can stop, you know, nice and smooth in the middle there. That's her looking all the way down. So from straight on, that's down, all the way up, all the way to one side, and the other side. And of course, you know, she could twist for days if she wanted to, but her head is nice and stable. It can look different angles as she's going side to side. The elastic there is pretty good. I was happy with that. The other interesting thing to mention about her is that she actually they must have sanded off the seam lines. I don't know where they were, but they are not here. So that was pretty unexpected, and kind of a nice thing I just wanted to make sure I mentioned was that she came without seam lines. The arms, as you've probably noticed been watching this, the arms do have a little bit of difficulty with posing. Right now, again, she is straight out of the box. I haven't, you know, done anything with the elastic. I haven't done any sueding or anything like that. So when she's here, especially the down area, she really doesn't want to keep that there. Once we get more in here, she's a little more amenable to doing these things. Let's see that's right, if we turn her up, she does more. So she can go all the way up, and she can pause in the middle. It just really depends on the position you put her in. And again, she's my first doll, so I'm not that great at posing. My apologies. I haven't played with her much. I had a cold for like 2 weeks. So that's where she's at there. And then once you get down here, yeah, she at this point really wants to just bring it in. She doesn't really want to stay out. For me, that's not a problem. Again, I'm willing to work with it. She's so cute. She does so many things like that. But she does have the ability to touch her face. No problem. There. Oops. Pull that down. You can see she can, you know, not poke herself in the eye, but she can touch her face. It might take a little bit of work to get her exactly where you want it. But yeah, she has no problem with that at all. The elbows also are single jointed, which is interesting. The knees are double jointed, but the arms here are just a single. So that's kind of her range of motion when you're looking at the arms. The hands are really lovely. They're a nice little sculpt. They've got the nice details. I could give her a manicure if I wanted. But that's, you know, kind of the range down. Hopefully you're seeing that on camera okay. That's her range down, straight, and up. She can do that. And then let's get her back over here, side to side. You know, she can do a little side to side. There we go. Side. It's not one I had actually tried out before making this video. She doesn't go back that far, but she can go pretty far that way. But again, for me, that's not super, super crucial. She's got, you know, nicely strung. It's in there pretty tight. That's what her joints look like. Her joints all the way down. Her chest has got quite a range of movement. First of all, let's just straighten her out so you can see here. talk about the fact that she just has a beautiful bust line. Let's be honest, I mean, it's a nice natural shape, but it still looks great under clothing. I don't have the shirt on right at the moment, but it looks great under clothing. It looks very natural. It doesn't look fake, but it still looks appropriate for her overall size, which I really like. I like that it's not squished together, you know, that kind of cleavage bosom thing, but she still definitely has a very nice cleavage line. Now, this joint that she's got here really gives her a nice range of motion. Like you can see, and on my Tumblr, I put some pictures of her. Let's get her arm out of the way. Like I said, sorry, I'm not used to posing her yet. There we go. Put her hand behind her back. She can really get far, and I've actually got some poses where I've stood her up because she has no problem standing and leaning all the way to the side. Let's see, I don't know if she'll want to do it right now because I've got her kind of wonky-legged, but that's what she can do. She can go all the way far, and when she does, you still have this nice look. You can't really see anything. In the back, you can see a little bit, but that's how far she can really take it. And so, like I was saying in the Tumblr, I've got pictures of her posed like this, and she just has no problems at all staying there. She can go, ooh, let's get everything back. My goodness. She can go really far back. You know, that's, that is how far back she can go. No problems. And I like that you can't even really see much of a hole right there. If I just took her the tiniest bit, you know, she can go that far back and you still have that nice line. So that is pretty awesome, and I'm very excited to do some photos with her posed like that. Front range, she does get a nice slouch, you know, but you can see that gap back there. But again, if she was under clothing, it wouldn't really matter, but that's how far she can slouch. And then of course, just the straight on side in her hip area, she gets that extra bit of wiggle there too, quite a bit. So some of it's coming from this top, which could, I mean, I could even take it all the way over there if I wanted to. Right? So that's how far she could go if I used both her hip and her chest together. That's what it looks like from that angle. So a lot of top mobility that I did not expect. The hip mobility here also, I again didn't want a doll that had this joint. Most of the time when I see them, you know, they seem like they don't do much, and they also seem like it leaves this weird line aesthetic wise. But with her, I actually love it because it just looks like natural, like another roll. I feel like it really just, you know, it's part of her body shape. It looks very nice and natural, but it gives her so much extra movement. I mean, it's just like, whee, she could do that all day long. So it's a really nice thing for her to have. The things that I really also love about her is that when she sits, you know, she's not, okay, I've got everything on her backwards at this point. There we go. She doesn't really want to just sit straight back, right? Her tendency is going to be to kind of fall backwards. That's what she wants to do. And I think part of it has to do from this joint here, because as you can see, it's a ball joint, right? It's just a literal ball. It doesn't have that flat peanut thing to help her, but that torso joint, with the slouch that it gives, she can sit really nice and easy. So, you know, I could put a hand back there, but it's not actually supporting her, but you can see how she can get that slouch to really sit up more than I would have expected. Yeah, so she doesn't, if I turn her leg out, she's got the thighs that you can move. If I turn her leg out, she can get a bit more upright. If I do that versus if I keep them here, you know, it wants to push back. So with the thigh, I just turn it a little bit. And because everything else moves so well on her, it actually still looks like she's got a nice straight leg. It doesn't look like I rotated her legs out, which I think is really cool that she can kind of have that appearance. So for sitting, kind of, there we go. Turn our legs out, lean her forward a bit. see. That's how she does with no hands. So I think not bad. I was pretty happy with that actually. But the great thing is she does sit really well, you know, on the edge of a box like this. You know, that slouch can do a lot of things with it. Let's just let her have a little support. There we go. So, I mean, there, you know, straighten her out. But she can do a lot of really cute sitting type things because of that slouch that she has and the ability, you know, to go backwards. She can do a lot of fun laying down sort of things. You know, she goes with that. Not that that's a pose you'd necessarily have her in, but you know, she can do that for laying flat, just in case you wanted to see that. There she is there. That's what she looks like. She can really lay down flat, but she can also do a nice arch. Aside for a second, she can do, you know, back bends, which I think is so cool. She could go all the way up, do different things. A lot of fun. As far as it comes down to hips, like I said, they're really mobile. They've got a lot of movement. They've got the rotating thigh joint, the hip that moves. The knees are double, right? So she's got her double jointed peanut thingy there, which means that she is able to come back and pretty much touch all the way up there. The other side does it better. The elastic on that side is a little bit looser, I think. So that side gives you a better comparison. She could actually go all the way there. So once I take her apart and work on that side a little bit, I think they'll be pretty equal. But yeah, she can do that all day long, no problem. When it comes to going to the front, you know, she can't go super high. And rotating out, you know, it doesn't necessarily give her a lot more advantage there. So that is one thing. If you want her to do a super high front kick, she can go about there and kind of hold it on her own. But, you know, she could do something like that. She has no problem with the bending the leg back kind of things. Let's see, when it comes to posing, the other thing she can do that I've seen people online, they're like, can she do this? Can she do that when it comes to dolls? And this was one. Again, I took some pictures when I had a chance to actually sit down and pose her, but you know, she can do that with no problem. Let's see, what other poses were there? Kind of looking at my notes here and remembering all of the things that I wanted to show you guys because she's just such an amazing poser and I just didn't expect it. I really thought she was basically going to be a doll that just stood around and looked pretty, you know, couldn't do much. But the person who sculpted her did such an amazing job of, you know, balancing everything in here because of the weight of the resin, you know, versus the weight of the resin down here. I'm just amazed that she can sit, she can stand, she can do all these things. It's amazing. So let's see. Oh, she can go, you know, do something fun like that. Even kick it out further. She can really, maybe, it'd be fun to pose her doing a karate kick at some point. Oh, the other thing is, can she sit back on her heels? It's a big thing, right? Well, the answer is yes, sort of. Basically what happens is her ankles don't necessarily want to stay up. Getting her into this pose takes a couple of minutes, just depending on what else you're trying to do, you know, if you want her hands to slouch or not slouch, that sort of thing. But basically her legs, everything is so mobile that it sort of just falls out, you can see, from underneath her because of the weight. But, I mean, she does lots of cute things like that just naturally. You're like, oh my gosh, that's so cute. So you can get her, though, to do this if you cheat a little bit. If you keep her ankles so that they turn in more rather than expecting them to go straight up, then you can get her to do some more things. And like I said, that takes a few minutes of time. Not terrible. But again, since I'm not the best poser, you know, there. So, you know, if I worked on it a little bit, I could get some different things to happen, but you can see that she actually can go all the way down. That's with her ankle up versus the, you know, kind of cheat and let her ankles go in sort of thing. So she can sit, and she can sit really far, heels all the way to the bottom, but it just takes a few minutes. And I don't know if that is something that will be fixed maybe with some sueding, or if it's just a fact that this area, because of everything that's going on, is so much heavier than, you know, just a little ankle joint here. I don't know about that. On the next video, after I've taken her apart, blushed her, and done all that sort of thing, we'll have a better idea, but do know that she has at least the potential to do that. Pop her knees out. That's what she looks like without any weight making her sit. Let's see if we can get her knee a little better there. See, she just moves all over the place. So that's, you know, what she can just do, and then if we start putting weight on it, that's kind of how far it can go. So getting back to her feet then and thinking about that, that's her ankles. They go out. Oops. They go in. They've got a nice point that way. Nice point that way. Here, let's turn her so you can see a little better. They go up. And they go really nice and far down. So I really like the nice point she can get there. The artist did an excellent, excellent job. I can't say enough for her right now. I am so overjoyed. I can't wait to actually work on her. Right at the moment, her elastic does have a tendency, she wants to kind of go cross-legged. So when I'm standing her, I'll tend to start wide. You know, and then if I feel like I want to move her in more, I can. But this way I can get her nice and balanced, because all of this, you know, when you've been playing with it, does take a little work to get back into alignment. But yeah, a wide-legged stance, she does so many fun things that way, but then you can bring it in more narrow. When you're looking at this doll, the sculptor did an excellent job on the details. I don't know that you can see them on camera, but she's actually got a nice little collarbone here, and it's nice and soft and rounded like you would expect on this body type, but it is definitely there. You know, she's got again, you probably can't see it, but there's a little divot right in here for her elbow, showing that yes, there is a human elbow, but it definitely is soft and rounded. The hands, like I mentioned, are great, and so are the feet. She's got little tiny details. I could give her a little pedicure. The bottoms of her feet are nicely sculpted. These are not high heel feet, but there they are. The shape of her body, you can definitely tell that it was sculpted from a real person. It wasn't just I took a skinny doll and added some extra clay. This really was clearly modeled on a person. You can see she's got like the belly fold, you know, a nice actual one. And you can especially see in the back, and again, this detail is really subtle. You might not be able to see it on camera, but right in here, and hopefully it will show more once I get everything blushed up, but she's got this really soft little fold. And if you've ever really known anybody who had this body shape, like this back area it's just like an old friend. You know this shape. This is a real actual body shape. You know, it's got this nice little softness right here, and then it's got these little folds right in here also. So she really paid attention to details. The little ears, they did a really good job there. They look great. I love her face in general. I don't know how close I can get without it. Okay, I think I can get about that close. But you can see she has a really nice little lips, smile, her nose. I love her eyes. Again, these are not the ones she came with, but this is going to be kind of the color range that we're looking at. Her profile is really nice. She has a nice chin. Yeah, so everything about her I'm just super, super pleased with, super amazed with. I don't know anything about any of the other dolls by the sculptor, but if this Francesca is any indication of the quality, you know, I would absolutely say if you're thinking at all about any of her dolls, go for it. That